much chaos everywhere. The Twitch chat, the games. I'm out. You two, take this next series.
Much appreciated, Formal. Oh my word. All right, here we go. Game number 1 of this best of 7. And this feels as of a series that might just be ugly by comparison. It's a solid series, but seeing 2 game 7s and oh my word, almost a phenomenal start by Gus.
Wait, ugly by comparison. Apparently, we're going to actually really have to compare because that's basically the exact shot that was being attempted in the last series here. Eros out the gate starting to fire, and I fear you, with the way that the day has been here, we might just get another game 7. At this point, it feels like we're just going to go to the maximum amount of games. 28 in total. Let's just do it.
Humans are trying to recognizing patterns, and that's certainly a pattern I would love to see. Gus going down the other end. I think in general, for Team Eros, it would be phenomenal if they can get to that top 8 and show we're actually in that top 8 to play Sour almost if we're getting that redirect.
Not quite able to, though, and we've got a tentative back and forth here. 1 minute gone, and still neither team able to find the back of the net. Not for a lack of trying, and, well, Zadakins looks like they might have another try here. No boost in the tanks, only fakes out the defense, but Hawk shot on target will just find the back of the net. No such luck. Gus will make the clear, and Juice Bandits will have to go back to the midfield to get another attack going.
It always feels that Juice Bandits, they start off slow. They didn't really get that momentum going, and then one game, all of a sudden, bang! They use all the momentum that they gathered, and they exerted on the opponents. Team Eros, though, they keep on ringing, they keep on knocking on the door, and are looking to break through. Sourdough with a double tap over the H's. Hello!
All right, so Eros have heard us talking about them and went, all right, you want some proof that we should be here? Here it is, Sour, what on earth? What a way to get the first goal of this game. 90 seconds into this one, and Eros starting to defy our expectations.
Maybe, I don't want to take classes from Twitch chat by the end of this, but maybe we just have to, because Team Eros at the start is looking phenomenal and a great competition for Juice Bandits. Obviously, still plenty of time left in this game. And Team Eros, if you're going to start whiffing, I think that's where the Juice Bandits can find the gaps.
Let's see if they can find a gap here, though. So far in 2 minutes of play, they have not been able to find a single goal. As a matter of fact, they're back on defense yet again. Remick trying to get in another goal here for Eros to extend their lead by 2. And oh my, Juice Bandits looking rather nervous here. They haven't had a solid shot on target in quite some time, and that will not be one either. Hawk just kind of dishes that one down to Remick, and all of a sudden, it's back to another Eros offense! Wait. And almost a goal off the bar, and what a bump!
Okay, sure, Remick, you get credit for the goal, but we should be crediting Gus putting up massive work and sending Hawks to the other side of the pitch, and then a goal explosion erupts as Team Eros put into the second one, and they're playing phenomenal. Sometimes you have those people who, as soon as they get to the big stage, that's where all of a sudden everything starts mattering, and that's where they're starting to show their true colors, what they're capable of, and Team Eros might just be such a team.
Dude, I am blown away right now. This team looks unreal. We're halfway through game 1, and it looks like they don't care who the Juice Bandits are. Oh, cool, you guys have made top 8s? Well, we're gonna make one now, and let's make a top 4 on top of it. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and Team Eros looking fantastic. They're looking for another goal as well. Not able to find it as Hawk will deny. Now it'll go the other way. Juice Bandits looking for their first goal in this game. In my opinion, looking for their first real attack as well.
No.
Oh my.
My Sprat. Okay, this just keeps on going on. I don't know why this should have been ended a long time ago. Sprat finally puts a halt to the madness. If they go down the other end, a goal right now for Juice Bandits very much puts them back, but they can't seemingly find it. That was a double flip reset out of Gus, by the way.
Where was this confidence in Swiss stages? You guys went down, or not down, you won in 5. It took you all 5 series. All of a sudden, it looks like you need no warm-up. What on earth took you to 5 series? What is, all right, wait, let me hear, what?
It's National Kindness Day, and Team Eros is the translation for love. So on National or International Kindness Day, they can actually pop up because 2 negatives make a positive, or 2 positives in this case. They allow them to pop off.
There we go. That's exactly what we're looking for. That negative energy, that demon time, as everyone has been saying the last couple of months in Rocket League at this point. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Team Eros on demon time right now. 2-0 within the first game here. 1 minute left, and if they can hold on, this is the most impressive start that I can be honest, I don't think any of us expected.
Absolutely not. Team Eros, they're coming out of the gates firing, but it's been slowed down by Juice Bandits. I think that's the most important part. The Juice Bandits have been able to slow down the plays, slow down the momentum of Team Eros. That being said, the majority of the possession is still on the side of Team Eros.
Majority of the possession here is definitely in favor of Team Eros, but the good thing is that Juice Bandits are slowing the bleeding now. They have not given up another goal in quite some time, and after the start that Eros had, the concern was going to be they would just start to run away with this, and they are still looking to do so. They want a third goal and cannot find it. Sprat denies it on the line, and I will say, if Juice Bandits can at least find a goal to end off this game, it's not all that bad of a loss. Oh my! No! Yes!
Okay, they can. Okay, Hawk. There we go. They do come through. And actually, that being said, with 13 seconds, I wouldn't say this is completely without a chance. And Hawk, the player who scores this goal, I think is going to be a pivotal role in the entirety of Juice Bandits.
This is going to be an interesting one here. If Juice Bandits can force an overtime in game number 1, not only do they show that resiliency and that comeback potential, but they also take the wind out of the sails of Team Eros. And as we can see, Eros, when they're confident, are a much stronger team. So let's see if you can try and get them with a little bit of less confidence here. 1 second left on the clock, and I don't think it's going to turn into a goal, let alone an attack.
Okay.
Hawk trying to correct me, wants to keep this one up. Remick, no, going to drop that one down. And Eros will take the win here in game number 1.
This is the unfamiliar territory for Team Eros. Of course, being in that top 8 at first already was, but now they need to stay calm, and I already see a few jumps here and there out of Gus. He needs to stay composed. It's important. I think they will be able to do so. This is a great start, but the most important part and the difficult part is keeping the momentum.
And that's the hard part here, is that ability to just continue with that trend. We've seen it a couple of times, but for teams like Eros and Juice Bandits who've had some up and down results, it's a little bit harder for them. They're not necessarily used to this pressure, and when that pressure does arrive, some teams can crack. Right now for Eros, I'm not going to say they're cracking yet. Yes, they did get 2 quick goals and then never were able to find another one through the rest of that game, but that's okay. If you're able to take a good enough lead against Juice Bandits, keep them uncomfortable, and just sort of suppress their offense, you can win series like this.
It wasn't as if they entirely dropped off the face of the earth. They still had the majority of the pressure, I want to say. And Juice Bandits, they were slowly easing into it, having that slow start, and we must remind ourselves, as much as I would already love to be proven wrong and jump on the Team Eros hype train, it's only game number 1. There's still a lot left to be played, and Juice Bandits, I don't think they're going to falter easily.
No, I would agree with you on that 100% here. I don't think Juice Bandits are out of this by any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, I think they're still kind of warming up right now. It's going to take them a second to get into this series, but once they do arrive, the question is whether or not Eros is going to be able to handle it. So let's see. This is going to be an interesting game number 2 here at this point. Let's hope that we can find a game 2 which is still just as back and forth, because again, I fear you, game 7s are in the air tonight.
Game 7s are in the air, and Team Eros, they're looking solid in this first game. I really hope they can further that. And let's see whether they actually can, as we are about to pop into game number 2. Forbidden Temple, and it might just be a forbidden series for Juice Bandit, because Team Eros, they're looking solid. This is not a great start, though. Absolutely not what you're looking for, but I guess it will do. We take those. There's no goal. Please, no goal. They swatted away.
How on earth is that not a goal for Juice Bandits? They get within inches. The good thing is they'll take a mile, though, just a couple of seconds later, and Juice Bandits will strike.
It's so unfortunate. Team Eros were able to swat away that first attack, but then we're not able to do so in this second instance. Juice Bandits put themselves up by 1, and this looks really solid right now for Juice Bandits. It's just a momentum thing at this point to get back into the groove of things. Starting off with that first goal is juicy for them.
That's an interesting way to describe it. I'm not going to disagree with you, because I think you're 100% correct. But the thing is we've seen this already from Eros. They're a very resilient team. We don't expect them to go down easily here. With over 4 minutes remaining, there's plenty of time for a response. Maybe they can find that here. Gus denied by Zadakins on the ceiling, though, and Sprat should be able to get a follow-up. He's now going to turn this into an offense, sends it into the backboard. Remick is waiting, and Team Eros looking a little bit patient right now, stumbling over my words, because I'm just surprised. This isn't what we were expecting after such an aggressive first game.
And the thing I'm most surprised by is Sour literally having the stream open while he's playing.
Right?
That's insane. Why? How? Because chat is moving the entire time. Aren't you distracted? He's got the hoodie on, so he might be full focus, but it just feels like a distraction.
I really do wonder if he's also listening to us at this point. Hey, Sour, if you are
No
listening,
way.
throw up a thumbs up. I'm pretty sure you are not, and to be honest, you probably should not be because, hey, focus on the game at hand right now, my friend. You're down by 1 with 3.5 minutes remaining. And as much as finding some confidence would be key for the team, they really need a goal right now, Hyperia. After not being able to find a goal past that, I think, what was it, like the 3-minute mark in game 1, it's basically been about 5 minutes straight where we have not seen Eros with a goal. We see Hawk with a goal, though, and yeah, that's just filth.
Great aerial control. Tries to fakes out the aerial as well, slows it down, and I'm pretty sure that Remick was tangled up in a wrestling match right there. Came out victor, but thus was too late to try and stop Hawk from the inevitable. Juice Bandits up by 2, looking strong. But the most important part, and what I always look at in this kind of scenario is how are Team Eros looking? Are they just lying down and letting Juice Bandits move across the pitch easily? No, they're not. So they're very much still in this.
100%. They are very much in this game. The unfortunate truth is, though, is they're kind of just putting themselves in disadvantageous positions. Sometimes this comeback is just a bit too far of a hill to climb, and then you just kind of put yourselves in an unfortunate position, try to battle back, and just don't have the time. And that's what it's looking like here. Half the game remaining, and Eros do have a chance at this one, but it's going to be a difficult task as they have to come back from 2 goals down. I will say, this is the Juice Bandits we were expecting. They look like they have finally found their form.
Not quite fully, though, I feel like. It's still... This is going to be a very weird series, I feel like. Team Eros, a team that very much deserves to be here. Juice Bandits, a team that has been here for eternity already. It's weird, but Juice Bandits, they're the ones... They're the old guard, and they're standing to try and keep Eros off of furthering their movement into the top 4, and Juice Bandits want their first one.
That's the thing, is that Juice Bandits have been one of those teams where people have been talking about how competitive they are for so incredibly long. You look at their regional performances. First 2 teams to get through here in this regional. Last regional, I believe they went 3-1. So yeah, they were the 3rd team to make it through, and they did the same thing in the first. They've been one of those top teams in the region for so long, but just haven't been able to perform when the time counts. They're doing that here, though. A fantastic game number 2 after a rocky game number 1 really has set the tone here for Juice Bandits. But let's hope they can hold on here. With 90 seconds remaining, there is still a possibility of a comeback from Team Eros.
Mimic and Gus both up to the skies. If Team Eros want an opportunity, obviously they need to lay the first one into the back, and then there's a free shot for Gus, whiffs it. So there was a player straight up in his face, shutting him down. Hawk to the skies. This is a scary sight to be coming at you, and he tries to take it through the entire way, but Remick pushes it away.
Pushes it away for now, and now a chance for Eros to go the other way, but it's denied by Sprat. 50-50 will send this one back into the Eros half, and Hawk will send a shot on target. Easily saved by Sour, but at this point, they don't need another goal. They need to waste time. So Juice Bandits getting this offense is absolutely crucial. With just about a minute left, and possibly the dagger with a 3rd goal, they're looking like they're going to even out this series.
Gus going down the other end. Sour an open net almost, but Sprat comes back in time, and Juice Bandits, any chance they had to give away this game seems to be swatted away to the side. But Team Eros, they're still pushing, they come knocking, and it's always best if you start off the game not that great. If you finish it off phenomenally, you are able to shake off whatever happened in that game and are getting into that next one with momentum.
Now, a lot of momentum going in favor of Juice Bandits right now, but a chance for Eros to try and shake that up if they can get a late goal here with just about 15 seconds left. They're struggling to keep an offense together here, though. Cleared out by the Bandits within a couple of seconds, and now all of a sudden it's looking like another offense for this Juice side. Maybe I'm going to eat my words. Sour sends one into the backboard. Hawk is there to capture it. And at this point, it's all said and done. Juice Bandits just trying to spike this one down. We'll do exactly that. Sprat solidifies the win, and we're all tied up here. Game apiece.
We're barreling towards that game 7 yet again. I would love to see it for one. Juice Bandits, they just gain momentum, and Juice Bandits with momentum, that's scary to see. You don't want to be up against that. Team Eros, they don't have another chance, or they don't have another choice, rather. They have to take down Juice Bandits to try and move through, which, well, they'll face whoever wins out of Grogan in Ground Zero.
Yeah, they will indeed. It's going to be an interesting side of the bracket, but I'm just starting to recognize something here. How funny and interesting would it be if Team Eros is able to take a top 4 before Juice Bandits are, after going 5 regionals in a row at top 8? That would be rubbing salt in the wounds, and that's like just an understatement at that.
Especially because it's against Juice Bandits. That just adds to the story so much as Team Eros. They're certainly wanting to make that the case. They have to get 3 more games on the board. Juice Bandits, they're fighting back. It's been an interesting back and forth thus far. I'd say Team Eros started off phenomenally. We're the better team. No, wait, what? Timeout?
Wait, really? Timeout game
That
number
is
3?
so early.
This has got to be a call from someone that is not within the 3 of these players here. Coach had to have made this call here, but I'm wondering what prompted it, because Hyperia definitely wasn't in their favor, but I don't know about you. I don't think that was a bad game from Eros.
Well, we're not in their comms, and I think that's something we need to keep in mind. Maybe the coach heard that within their comms they were being nervous. You see, they're a bit shaky. Gus, nerves will be playing, and I think you want to kill that as soon as possible. As soon as you let that get out of hand, a timeout is not going to matter. Right now is the most effective time if you want to calm those nerves, but you need to dial in and get ready, locked in to go.
It does look like they are focusing on someone else speaking at the moment. They're taking a couple of terms here, but there's definitely someone else in this communication right now that's trying to talk to them about what they could do to improve. And I like that. This is something we did see out of the Renegades in the last series. After a little bit of a shaky start, they decided to be advantageous and get ahead of the problem rather than let it develop and then having to try and solve it during the back half of the series. So it's a bold call on Eros. It could come out to work in their favor here, though. I don't know about it, though, Hyperia. It definitely didn't feel like there was enough momentum being lost in that second game that it warranted a timeout.
We talked a lot about when to take the timeouts and when we would like to see one. This sets a whole new precedent. Let's see whether Team Eros are able to capitalize. Juice Bandits, you don't want to see them with momentum under their wing, so just try and shut that down as early as possible. I see it being a viable strategy, but now that Team Eros have to show it as well on the pitch. Hawk, they can go down to the other end, but Remick there in the center field to catch it.
Tadykin sends this one off the ceiling, and Gus, that's not a great touch on the back end, and Remick should have a little bit of time to try and clear this out. Fakes out the musty flick, and actually fakes out the other defender as well. Tries to get it past everyone in rally indeed. Solo play and monsters this one through the entire defense.
Remick is huge. He's been gym. 2 players suffer the consequences of that, and Remick puts in the first goal for Team Eros, and I guess that's why you take a timeout at this moment when their Juice Bandits are going to be returning with one. There's still plenty of time to return with a goal. Instead, Gus takes a high up to the sky, makes it an easy read for Sprout. All he has to do is go all the way up to the ceiling, top rope swing. A Hawk in the corner. Denied.
Oh, double touch!
Oh,
yes,
yep.
Indeed. Sprat into the back of the net, and Juice Bandits with a response and a half.
That is a response and a half indeed. Sprat just sets up the double tap, and the initial touch is good, so you know 100% that that's going to be into the back of the net. Or whether they're going to be firing on all cylinders, I'm sure they will. Is it going to be a shootout? Are they going to be leaving defense a bit? Hawk is leaving defense, but to set up a proper attack, that's worth it.
Yeah, this is a little bit unfortunate right now as both teams aren't necessarily gaining momentum. We said that second game was rather important because of the fact that it does kind of set the tone here. I don't know if any team is really setting the tone right now. It just kind of feels like it's back and forth and back. What? I'm sorry? Excuse me?
He's setting the tone. Gus sets an entire rhythm at this point. That is ridiculous. Gus with the angle. And I think how this game is going to go is they're just going to one-up each other the entire time.
How? How do you hit that angle, dude? I just don't understand.
Gus?
I mean, yeah, I guess Gus is how you enter, you hit that angle, but at a certain point, this is just everything we could have hoped for, and beyond what we could have hoped for. This is the Eros we did not expect.
It's phenomenal to be seeing that. They still have the lead. 3 minutes 30 on the clock. Could be swaying back into the Juice Bandits way. Hawk with a quick challenge late, going all the way back. Sprat pushes that wide. And Hawk with a 50 on the back wall. Gus up for the play. It's been scary this time. Only tries to put it into the mix and pass it off to Remick. Has been a goal scorer as well. Gus still wants to get on the board with a flip free set into the back of the net. And Gus, hello.
All right, I'm now starting to understand why Twitch chat has been calling Gus's name this entire series. Yeah, that's about right. That's unreal. What on earth? 3-1 Eros here, and defying expectations is the best way to explain what's going on right now. They're not just defying expectations, they are fighting against them. Team Eros trying to prove the entire caster desk wrong here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's the only thing that I can say. Team Eros still have a long way to go, but they're making a movement and a half. Gus is putting the entire team on his back for that particular moment. Trying to edify the rest of the squad. Remick put his hand in the mix as well. Sour showed up in that first game. Everybody of Team Eros, they're firing at all cylinders, and that's exactly what you need at this moment. Do it together as a team. Don't try and hog the stage. You just want to pass it off when that's the better play.
I would 100% agree here. Team plays have been so incredibly... All right, I need to stop explaining the momentum. That's the third time I've been interrupted. Glad to be interrupted from a goal like this. What on earth?
Ooh. Pinchy Dinchy going into the left side of the goal, and the Dragon flying through. Fit and goal explosion for Forbidden Temple just as halftime. This is a game that I don't think anybody will be able to understand fully. It's just solo pop-offs, team pop-offs going back and forth the entire time, and that's what makes it interesting.
This is one of those games where you kind of sit here and go, yeah, we can try and commentate over what's going on, but honestly, the action is speaking for itself right now. 2 minutes remaining with a 1-goal difference. Juice Bandits looking to fight back here and do have a chance at it, but Team Eros not giving them any room to breathe in their face, in their way, just being an annoyance right now, and in the best way possible. It might even result in another goal. No such luck as Gus tries to get one, but here comes that offense. A minute 45 left, and Team Eros are still on the prowl. Oh my word.
Gus got incredibly close, but killed at the roots. That attack is, and directly down to the other end. Sprat, that's a great bounce for Juice Bandits. They're able to capitalize if they were anywhere near that play, but Hawk and saying this is exactly the problem that Juice Bandits fall into rather often, where they sit way too far back, even though I think that's their strongest point.
Yeah, that's the big thing here is that they're going to need to figure out a strategy at this point. And if they do want to hang back and play a little bit defensive, that's a totally viable strategy. It's what won Riot their last series. But the issue is right now, I don't really feel like anybody has momentum in their favor. We were talking about this. Coming into Game 3, it's usually a place to set the tone, to really see which team is going to be the favorite going into the back half of the series. I still don't really know. Yes, Eros do have a 1-goal lead here, but with a minute remaining, that could be gone in the blink of an eye, especially with how many pop-off plays have come out of absolutely nowhere in this game.
I think it's one of the most abstract things. Momentum is the most abstract thing in Rocket League, where you can make an argument, you can make a case for basically any scenario that's going to bring them momentum, or why it wouldn't. Anything of the sort, which makes it interesting. It makes it a bit of a guessing game. You don't know where to find it, you don't know necessarily how to get it, and you just want to be playing well. 30 seconds remain in this game right now. Team Eros still in the lead, and they want to further that.
They're trying to get themselves the dagger here in this game to solidify the win and solidify a 2-1 lead in the series. The Juice Bandits are fighting against that at all costs here. And again, this is an important game for both teams. At this point, it's not really likely that either one of these guys is going to be able to make Sweden. As a matter of fact, I actually don't think either of them technically can.
Nope.
But this is a big game just because of the fact that it sort of shows who's going to be in that top 4 contention. Now that the region's getting flipped on its head with Renegades out of contention here, this is going to be an interesting one, and Eros want to get to that top 4 position. They are up 2-1 here in the series.
I'm pretty sure Hawk went the entire way down to his desk. You know when you're in the game and you try and move your head to peek around the corner, even though obviously it's not going to work? I feel like he did that because that ball was terribly close to being on top of his car or on the ground. The game said it was on the ground, so Team Eros get their second one in game number 3, proving that that timeout was certainly worth it.
It was a really different game for them overall there. Didn't see the entirety of the Juice Bandit save there, but I know it was somewhere between, I want to say like 8 to 10. Team Eros had 2. It just kind of goes to show you at this point that Team Eros are really playing this game with control over the pace of play. They understand that if their opponents want to play defense, all right, let us rip off shot after shot after shot. And that's what they did there. Unrelenting offensive pressure until eventually they found a couple of cracks. And while it was a close game, the reality is the edge was in favor of Team Eros. And I don't know if this is going to give them the edge going into the latter half of this series, but it's a huge win for them here in game number 3.
It's yet again that momentum. It's an abstract thing, and you can make any story of it that you want. But realistically, if you look down to the facts in the world right now, and that is Team Eros up by 2. But are they really? Technically, it's just a few pixels on your screen. Reality can be questioned at all times.
Considering the results of today, I'm going to be questioning my reality for the rest of the weekend at this point here. I don't know what on earth is going on in OCE, but I can tell you one thing. It's delivering some entertaining back and forth here. Game number 4 in this best of 7. Juice Bandits versus Eros here. And again, Eros having the lead this far into the series was something I don't think any of us were expecting.
I love that. I love being proven wrong and making myself look like a fool. It sounds weird. If I make a statement, I love to see the other way because that's the expected way. I say, hey, I think this is going to happen because if you look at history, Juice Bandits made this position top 5 times, where Team Eros is their first time. So theoretically, it should be Juice Bandits, but Team Eros, they're taking massive control here.
I mean, at this point, we're starting to learn. Stats mean nothing here. Direct has lied to us for however long he has been a part of this statistician, sort of just phase of himself. I don't know what to do at this point, man. It seems like we should be playing this based on what the numbers say, but I guess caster math is going to fail us tonight as we just cannot seem to predict anything that's going on. 1 minute into this one, I still have no idea who's got the favor here. Eros are back on offense, but they haven't really had a solid shot throughout this game.
Hawk tying it up with Gus and trying to be incredibly close. Zadigans and Sprat both sitting in the far net. Well, I was talking earlier about how you need to position yourself when you're not at the plate, and I think both defenders into the back of the net. Sure, it might work in that attack for a brief moment purely because you have Hawk who can pop up, but right now where is Zay too far back, and that's the entire attack gone.
It feels like Juice Bandits are relying a little bit too much on this defensive play style here. Yes, it's a great thing if you can find counterattacks, but the issue is Eros are locking down this midfield and not allowing them to transition out of their half as cleanly as they might like. Look at another example of that. Sprat tries to carry it through, but Gus is already out at midfield and just not letting them out. He's putting shots on target. I don't know what's more impressive there, though. The Zayn save or the Gus shot. Either way, it's going to... is this a goal?
Yes, no, I think it's no, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Team Eros can turn that into a yes down the other end. Sprat shuts that down, keeps it in the midfield. Hawk still up for a place on the backboard. Gus, or Sour, rather, well defended. Tries to set up the counter-attack, but they've not been able to break out. And Juice Bandits, they're taking the advice and then trying to keep on being into the attack.
This is a little bit of an odd game here. Usually you're able to kind of get a grip of like how it's progressing. If you see a goal start to develop, you're understanding, okay, that's going to be a goal. No idea. This is just utter chaos. The confusion I have right now is just mind-blowing right now. And, well, I don't really know who's going to take the win here either, because we are halfway through this game still. Not a single goal has been scored, and it still will remain that way. On the line saves becoming the trend here, and I just cannot believe we're still tied up at 0-0.
Especially after that previous game, it was one of those where Sprat getting flip reset, trying to force his way through. That was not what the previous game was like, but that was just firing shots left and right, back and forth the entire time. And now it's been quieted down. I feel like they're taking a priority in the defensive stance. If you get that under control properly, what Gus has to do right now is Sprat taking the line that brings it straight into the hands of Gus, who has a great read on it and has been reading the play greatly the entire time.
That's the thing, is that at this point, Eros are not in this game because of the fact that Juice Bandits are not playing to their peak. It's because Eros are just popping off. This is the best I've seen them play probably ever, and honestly, we should have expected a little bit more out of them. They did take down a win against Riot yesterday, who have now beaten Renegade, so they've proven they can play against the best of the competition here. The question is, can they do it when it counts? 75 seconds left here, and this is a clutch game for Eros. They win this one, they move on to series points. They lose this, and Juice Bandits are right back into this one.
Hawk, let's see whether they can get right back into the back of the net. Off to the backboard now, to the side. Sprat still into the hands of Gus, looks to set up a counter-attack, has plenty of boost to try and get it out, but a counter-attack tool is at fullest extent. It's going to be tough. Sprat still catching the center, looks for the flip reset, no, just tries to accelerate, and Gus will interfere. Hawk still lurking, and he's going to pass that off to the center. Zayd too far back, and that's not going to be an opportunity for Juice Bandits. Instead, they have to defend.
I'm starting to notice, though, Eros trying to use that space that was given to them, and I don't think Juice Bandits are giving them the space any longer. Perfect example of that. They think they've got got some time on defense and can play with this one a little lackadaisically, but Sprite says no, 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 shot on target, and possibly the win for Juice Bandits.
Possibly with 32 seconds, Team Eros, they've got a way back into it. 32 seconds. And he needs to use that to its fullest extent. Gus out to the side. It's going to be Hawk up first. And if Juice Bandits can pop another one into the back of the net, that Hawk's looking to do the splice down, not quite connecting. Team Eros still pressing.
Not quite able to find themselves another goal here, but they are throwing everything at this offense right now. Juice Bandits don't want to give themselves even a chance to get upset here with 10 seconds left. I don't think they're going to. Hawk, I was going to say it's a monster flick on target, but not really. A little bit lackluster. Now it's given a chance for Eros to go the other way, but they're not going to take it. Sprat instead is going to send one into the backboard here, and Remick will actually keep this up. Sour has this, and so does Gus out of the corner. Will there be a shot? No such luck. Zayd sends it out to the side, and we square up at 2 games apiece yet again, tied up in this series.
The reason why Hawk is so important on the side of Juice Bandits is because it kind of feels as if he's the one who has to set up the entire attack, has to do it solo. And that gets old very quickly. And Team Eros are able to read that and move down to the other end. Juice Bandits, they were able to find the only goal in this game. But I love what Team Eros are doing. They're moving into the attack as a unit.
That's the big thing here is we're starting to see a lot more team plays out of the team. And that's something I think they need if they want to try and break through this Juice Bandits defense here. And I think, honestly, for both teams, that's going to be rather crucial here. With so many on-the-line saves, a really good way to break down a team is to have that initial shot, immediately have a follow-up, and keep with those follow-ups until eventually you find a crack. Because when saves like that out of Zayd are the standard here, and out of Hawk as well, you really need something special to be able to get through the defense.
You really do, and that's also directly the power of staying far back. Sure, you might not have the greatest or the strongest suffocating attack, but you will have a very solid defense. You can't give space in the midfield. I think that's the most important part. Have a player out there. Make sure you put the screws through Team Eros, because in theory, Juice Bandits, you're the more experienced sides. You're able to tie it up yet again, but they keep on trailing behind Team Eros.
That's the big thing here is that Juice Bandits on paper might be the stronger team, but we've seen it today. Every single stat has gone out the window. You never really know. International Kindness Day, or whatever Max has been saying this entire time, apparently has put something in the air to where we just get ridiculous series on repeat. We get shots like that on target as well. Gus trying to start off with a banger for Team Eros. We'll have to go back to the drawing board for now.
I always feel bad because I forget what kind of day it is, even though Max has said it about 3 times right now, and it makes it seem as if I don't pay attention to him, which I do. I love Max, but World Kindness Day for Team Eros right now is not on the cards.
All right, I'm trying to figure out what this is. I'm looking for what the public holiday or the national holiday is here today, and I'm gonna be honest, so far Google has given me 0 results except for telling me all of the 2021 national holidays. So let's focus on the game at hand instead. 4 minutes remain here, and Team Eros have not been able to find a goal, but neither have Juice Bandits here. An intense back and forth, and honestly, we should expect it at this point. It really has been so close this entire time.
Yeah, Juice Bandits and Team Eros, they're duking it out, and what else can we expect from today? It's been a phenomenal day, Zadigans. Down to the under end now. I'm really looking forward to what the rest brings. Hawk has an opportunity, plays it in far corner, and Gus, or Sour rather, no chance.
This is a little bit unfortunate. Sour tries to shadow, thinking that 50-50 is going to possibly pop out to the corner, and when it ends up going at their net and just a little bit high, he panics to try and get the save. Doesn't make it because it goes off the bar, and that's an immediate follow-up from Juice Bandits. A heck of a way to put themselves in the lead here. With 3.5 minutes remaining, it's not a guarantee of a win, not even close, because the Team Eros already back on the prowl and already looking for that equalizer.
Hit the ground running, and here they go. Hit the ground running. The Sour showing up yet again, failing to make the initial save, brings his team right back to a tied game.
Dude, what on earth is happening here? I feel like I blink and all of a sudden we're back to a tie game. When we say even series, this is about as close as we can get, and after having 2 Game 7s in a row, I didn't think somehow our 3rd series of the day would get even closer than before, but here we are with shots ripping off on either side, and Team Eros finding the lead yet again.
Was Hawk able to get back to this without pre-flipping? I don't think so. Even though the pre-flip did not put him in a great spot, it's one that he had to go for, and it's an unfortunate one to go into the back of the net. But Juice Bandits trailing yet again, and even by more as Team Eros. Is this 1v1?
Is that another kickoff goal? That's the second kickoff goal we've seen in a row. Zay just doesn't really read that one correctly. A little bit unfortunate for the Juice Bandits, but at this point, unfortunate is kind of the name of the game here. They're down by 2 with only about 2 minutes gone. Hyperia, I don't know if you're able to, but I'm trying to wrap my head around this series and really struggling.
I don't even know where to start. It seems so chaotic, and that's what I love about this, though. They're both in a phenomenal position where they can make it to the top 4 for the first time. And that will shines through some nerves. That could be cause for the chaos. And doesn't matter, because Team Eros, they found their groove. And as soon as you find that rhythm, you're able to calm those nerves. Team Eros, if they win this, they're on match point. And then, well, guess what? Start playing yet again. Nerves.
Oh yeah, those nerves really going to become a factor here in the back half of this series. Apparently they're rather prevalent for Juice Bandits, but considering Team Eros have basically been lighting up the net just unrelentingly here, it doesn't seem like it's affecting them at all. Halfway through this game, and I'll be the first to admit, Eros have defied every expectation we had of them here today.
It's phenomenal. They've been playing amazingly. And this game's not even done just yet, so we can start praising them. I think that's worthy already. And Juice Bandits, they're still a phenomenal side as well, to able to bring this back. 2-goal deficit, 2 minutes left to go, and there's Hawk up for the play. Zayd far back, this time up in the mix. Gives it away to Sour, though, and that's another defense for some Juice Bandits that they have to go on. Zadikins out to the side. Hawk, we're going to be popping that right into Zadikins. Unfortunate attack, shut down kind of by themselves.
Shut down for now here, and all of a sudden a chance for Team Eros to put the dagger in on this game. They've got a good offense building here, but can't quite find the back of the net. And now as a result, Juice Bandits will try and break out from midfield, denied by the 50-50 and locked into their half once again. It's been a while since we've seen a solid offense out of Juice Bandits here. It feels like Eros are understanding how they want to play and are countering it perfectly.
They're playing as a team, and that's such a phenomenal way to take down Juice Bandits in this instance, who are struggling to connect a little bit. I've been harping on it a lot, but I just feel that their attack could use some work. They need to connect a bit better, know the risks of pushing up the pitch while also having that defense locked up, spot those opportunities. Well, as of right now, they're going to have to spot the opportunity in attack, break through the cracks of Team Eros. There have been a few, but they've not been big whatsoever. Okay, Zayd, no way.
I don't think so quite yet here, but maybe on the follow-up, no such luck. Sprat tries to put this one center. Hawk will collect this one out of midfield, and that's a fantastic flick. Remick will get in the way and will deny the goal here, but Juice Bandits finally starting to get some offense together. It's been a while since we've seen this. They can find a goal quickly enough, Hyperia. There's absolutely a chance at a comeback, but Zayd puts that one high, and all of a sudden that chance is starting to look slimmer and slimmer.
You see what happens though, as soon as they put the screws to Team Eros, make them worry. Hawk, that's not going to be what he was looking for whatsoever. But they get opportunities of plenty in Team Eros. And they're in an awkward position right now. Oh no, Hawk an open net surely has to be converted, and this is exactly why they're in an awkward position.
Oh, this is an interesting one, and indeed, this is an awkward position all around. Juice Bandits have been given a chance here. With 20 seconds left, they can make the comeback happen, but I don't know if it's going to. I will say this, kickoffs have not been good for the Juice Bandits, and that's putting it rather lightly, considering I think they've given up, what, 4 kickoff goals throughout this series? It's going to be difficult for them to find a kickoff goal in their favor, but hey, they're doing their best chance at that. Sprat shot on target, but denied by Gus. Last second save, and that just might secure the game for Team Eros.
Not just yet, Zadikins still apart. Sprat spiking it down onto the ground. It goes, still bounces. Hawk staying close, good challenge. And Zadikins is the one that has to keep it up. Looks for the bang off the backboard, but it's more of a tiny tap straight to the ground. And Team Eros, they're on match point. And I personally can't believe it, but we're here. This is real, and Team Eros are phenomenal.
I'd like to apologize, Twitch chat, formally on behalf of the casting desk at this point. We were sorry for doubting you at this point. Your boys haven't secured the win here yet, but they have proven that they are a threatening team. They may have not had top 8 appearances before, but I I'm expecting them to find some more in the future. This is a phenomenal performance from Eros. I've got nothing but compliments for them, and this is the right move. Juice Bandits need this timeout. They need to shake off these nerves and come back in Game 6 with a massive response.
Yeah, we've made a continuous and severe lapse of judgment, but it's not over yet. Juice Bandits calling the time, and that proved massive for Team Eros. And now Team Eros being thrown off, that allows Juice Bandits a way back into this series, into this game, because they need to show up. And I always wonder so much what they're talking about at this moment, whether it's strategy, whether it's just calming the nerves. There's so many possibilities. Maybe they're just talking about their weekend. That could be the case. I doubt it, but it could be.
I would be a little bit surprised if they're just talking about their weekend right now. I think there's a couple more pressing things on their minds right now, including the fact that they might just be able to find their first top 4, or they're gonna lose out on it if they can't perform here. I just can't believe it. Hyperia, this is insanity right now. Team Eros, a team that so many people had questions throughout this entire season, they finally make a top 8, and they have to face a team that has been looking for a top 4 forever. So this is a dream scenario. This is everything we could have hoped for. A back and forth which has been legendary for so far, but for Juice Bandits, this is a nightmare. They did not expect this much resistance out of Team Eros.
My two brain cells are having such a tough time to try and connect everything that's happening on the pitch and outside of the pitch as well. And Team Eros, sure, they got fortunate with this kickoff goal, but I don't even want to say fortunate, because in Rocket League, every single thing that you do is completely into your own hands. That kickoff was just rather bad on the side of Juice Bandits. Simple as that.
That's the unfortunate truth here, is that Juice Bandits haven't been perfect on their kickoffs, and against a team like Eros, who are peaking on the day, they're taking advantage of every little mistake. That's a separating factor right now, in my opinion, is that Juice Bandits are not playing poorly, but whenever there is a mistake out of Team Eros, they're not quite capitalizing to the degree they should be.
Well, here we go. Game number 6. Juice Bandits, they have to slap themselves back. Otherwise, Team Eros moves to that top of 4 spot instead of them, even though they've had the opportunity to 5 times. Oh, Sprat.
Gosh.
Okay.
Dude, that stat, 5 times. Wait, Sprat's got to be freaking out right now, right? He's just got to be like insanely just nervous at this game. I got to hope it doesn't get too into his head here, though, because if the nerves get to them right now, this could be the end for Juice Bandits.
I don't even want to say that. We're going into winter split after this one, of course, and they've secured their spot top 8 to try and be invited for that next region already. Sour, he's not going to care about that right now. They've got other pressing matters. He's trying to play for the Clowy. Clow is certainly something they've gotten out of me. Sour looks to get it out to the side. It gets them out though.
Juice Bandits not as advantageous as I would like. Again, they're really not throwing everything at this offense here. This one goes coast to coast, and Hawk eventually does find a touch, but you're expecting someone to cut in a little bit earlier there and keep up the pressure. Eros looking very comfortable on defense here, because Juice Bandits are just not putting anything against them that is all that threatening. Finally, a shot will go on target. I think Sprat was looking for more of a redirect, but maybe should have just left the shot for Hawk and then tried to find a follow-up another time. Again, Juice Bandits looking kind of panicked when they move into this final third.
This is phenomenal for Team Eros, being able to keep it quiet, keep everybody silenced when your opponents were the ones to take a timeout. This net is completely open. Are they going to get back in time? Sprat goes to the backward, but Gus, yet again, a phenomenal read on the play, directly turned into a counterattack. Sour already being up the pitch is going to be so massive for Team Eros. They get to the direct counterattack, put pressure on the Juice Bandits. That being said, Juice Bandits, they're not going to lay down easy. They're fighting back.
They are fighting back right now, and with 3 minutes remaining, they've got to fight for the remaining of this game. Matter of fact, they got to fight for the remaining of this series here. If Eros take a win in the next 2 games, that is the end of this one, and they move on to the quarterfinals, or excuse me, semifinals here. And again, I cannot emphasize how much of an upset this would be. Juice Bandits have been a top 8 team consistently throughout this season. The fact that they are finally getting a good shot at top 4 and just can't clutch it up, this feels like the same story over again here, and I can't help but feel bad for Juice Bandits. They have been so close to a semifinal appearance so many times.
Not out just yet, keep that in mind. We're still in game number 6, halftime remaining. And a completely tied game at 0-0. We're just fighting back and forth, looking for that opening, and I like that out of Juice Bandits. They're taking a bit of time, making sure that everything stays solid. Hawk, that's a solid attempt to move down the other end. Will be only as far as Gus. Sets it up into the corner. Second touch found into the center. Tab to Zayn on the clear away. Hawk looks for the counter, and they would need to do this quickly because Team Eros, they're rapid back into the defense, and Revic shows why.
Hawk has been great in the air so far here in this series, but now they have to show some defensive prowess as well. Save on the line, and the Juice Bandits will keep the dream alive. What a phenomenal play out of Hawk. Juice Bandits loving this on the line defense. It may not love our hearts, and my doctor may not love it, but the reality is that it's working out for the team so far.
Uh-oh, Sour into the center, and that's actually straight into the hands of Hawk. Okay, I thought it was going to pop to the center. Hawk, talk about perfect positioning. Let's have another look at this. Great read by Hawk, and that's Juice Bandits up by 1.
Dude, who even thinks to challenge on the ceiling like that? What on earth? Hawk really putting the team on his back. This is an impressive play. Honestly, I should have expected that. Hawks love to stay in the air, so at that point, I probably should have expected the aerial challenge. But hey, you know what? At this point, it's going to work out for them. Juice Bandits are 80 seconds away from forcing a game number 7, but not if Team Eros have anything to say about it. Shot off target, and the opportunity has gone awry.
They've got something to say about it, but they have got a cloth in their mouth, and they're unable to speak up in that instance. Hawk wants to rip everything out of Team Eros to make sure that this victory will be commanding for Juice Bandits. Gus attempts to want a last-ditch effort. It's not a last-ditch effort. There's still a minute left remaining. Great boost still renders Hawk and basically useless. No boost in attack. Drop down into Remick. It's Gus who takes over into the corner. Great recovery to force the 50 here as well. Into the box it goes. Late on the clear away now. Gus and retreating all the way back while his teammates do the work. Sour couldn't quite rip the shot, but the rotation is phenomenal out of Team Eros, and they're able to keep this attack going.
It does feel like they've got a clean rotation right now, but a clean rotation doesn't mean anything if you can't rip off a shot when the time arrives. We've seen this so many times. Teams with this overwhelming offensive pressure, when it comes time to get that final punch in, they just can't quite find it. With 15 seconds left, it's up to Eros to find one more chance. They move into the final third here again, looking for a good shot, but Hawk will deny it and carry this one out of his half. Great 50-50 is going to force Team Eros to restart from their own half again, and they will try and do exactly that. Sprat will deny it though, and possibly force a game 7 here. Not if Gus has anything to say about it though. He's gonna keep it up, and so will Sour. No, he will not. Juice Bandits spike it down, and for the 3rd series in a row, we go to game number 7.
It almost seemed as if that second tap out of Gus was halting his team rather than furthering them, taking it into the corner. But hey, sometimes you just have that rather quiet game yet again, and I feel like both of these teams are taking a bit of a step back to focus on defense, focus on everything surrounding it. But now there's no time to focus on anything but the game. There is one opportunity, one shot. You do not want to miss your chance.
Oh my, I'm so excited for this game number 7. When saves like that are the standard that is being set here, it's really going to have to take the absolute best performance out of either one of these teams if they want to make that top 4 appearance. Who would have thunk it? Renegades gets knocked out, and all of a sudden every single other team decides to peak at this point. If I'm ground 0 now, I'm actually not nearly as comfortable as I was before here. It seems like everybody has decided to show up here for this 3rd regional.
Grogan's upset. Spice? That would be spice, but I don't care about that series just yet because we are in a game number 7. Whether it's gonna go to overtime, we're gonna find that out in approximately 5 minutes. Juice Bandits versus Team Eros in its first play to Team Eros.
Here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. This first goal gonna be absolutely massive with how many close 1-goal games we have had here. It could be the deciding factor. The question is which team is able to find that goal and that first start in this game. 20 seconds into this one, and Juice Bandits are looking for that goal. Not quite able to find anything, and Remick will take this one out from midfield. Great flick high, but is it going to turn into anything? I don't think so. When Sprat can connect with Zadakins and send this the other way, it's a huge chance for Juice Bandits to get that opener. But 30 seconds into this one, and still no one able to find a goal.
Sprat 50 with Remick. Sour charging on through, but a pass in field to Hawk, or at least attempted to Hawk. It's Remick who catches it. Hawk didn't expect that to make its entire way through. Hawk now, though, Up to the play, Sour keeps it in the mix. Gus attempts the backward pass to himself. He scored this angle before, attempted again with a flip reset to boot. And with 1 minute in, it's still completely quiet, even though you hear muffled sounds.
This is a really intense back and forth, and at this point, I have a feeling that these teams are understanding how, close of a game this is. Team Eros apparently understand it a little bit more. Out of the corner, Remick finds a goal, and what happened to the defense?
Every single time I think I'm starting to understand what's going on, this happens. Hawk gives it away or tries to spike it down. At least doesn't necessarily do the thing that's going to lead them into an attack. Instead, it gives it away for Team Eros. And Team Eros, them being in the lead, they have been able to hold on in the past. They just need to do it again. Previous few games have been 1-goal games, so it should be possible. It should be possible,
but to be honest, I'm not really looking for that at this point. What I want is an overtime. We have yet to see one in this series. Overtime Game 7 is a legendary battleground. It's something we've seen already once here today, but it's up to Juice Bandits to take us back there one more time. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. They're only down by 1. Just need a single good goal, and they're going to start that here in the corner. Zadakins does get a good 50-50, and so does Sprat. Can we see a shot on target? Yes, we can. Zayn will put in the equalizer, and we're squared up yet again.
Well, there you have it. There you have the tie-up, and currently it's looking like we will go to overtime. with this current game and with this entire series, 3 minutes 20 is plenty of time for silliness to be unfolding on the pitch. Is Bandits versus Team Eros. They're pulling everything out of the bag, and Gus, he just got 12 boosts in the bag to work with. Tries to just straight drive it through a Sunday stroll, almost. Getting through into a pivotal bump, but still Sprat charging on through, and Team Eros, they have to stay composed.
You can see that building there. Eros in a little bit of an awkward position. They have to go for that challenge in the air, but when Sour takes a half a second to try and read where the offense is coming from, it's a bit too late. Juice Bandits turning on the Jets here in game number 7, and it's given them a 1-goal lead. But with 3 minutes remaining, like you said, plenty of time for a comeback out of Eros.
And maybe directly already off to the center. Gus, it's a pass. He scored more difficult angles. Right, and Remick still up into the mix. Counter-attack. They're looking for it. We can't find it. Sprat still has an attempt. Remick versus Hawk. It's a 1v1, and Remick gets all the space in the world. Has a bit of boost to work with as well. Flip reset to boot. Tries to get it past, but Hawk has a great read on it. And still, Sour up in the mix. And Zadakins pushes it wide.
Pushes it wide for now, but it's not quite out of the half yet. Juice Bandits still feeling the pressure here, even having some shots rip off like that one out of Sour. They need it clear, and they need it quickly. They don't want to let this get equalized and give even a chance for Eros to force an overtime. And they'll do exactly that. Musty flick going the other way for Juice Bandits is going to give them some time to set up another offense. This one off the backboard, shot on target, and Hawk will put in a third. Juice Bandits up by 2.
This now gets scary for Team Eros. Juice Bandits up by 2, 2 minute 13. Gus, I'm trying to focus, maybe being a bit upset. That's the only thing, and also the downfall of those cams. Everybody sees, and everybody will assume whatever they want to for the story, exactly like I will. Gus, out to the side. As he finds focus yet again, he passes it through 2, but Juice Bandits, the rotation has seemingly cleared up.
Yeah, it's seemingly cleared up here, but the unfortunate thing is there's not a clear path to victory right now. Juice Bandits are going to have to fight tooth and nail if they want to keep this one in their favor. Team Eros aren't backing down. They're looking for just their second goal to try and get them back into this game. And I do have faith in the team to be able to do so. They just need a good shot on target. That won't be it. Off the post and out. And with 100 seconds left, it's do or die time now for Team Eros. Backs against the wall. They need some goals.
You have to put yourself in an awkward position where you might just concede on down to the other end, but safe play is not going to bring you anywhere whatsoever. It's Sour down the line. Gus is up for it, but actually no, it's Remick who's up there. Puts that up high. Hawk back on the backboard. Juice Bandits, I think an infield pass might just be the downfall of them if Team Eros can spot it out, because they are all sitting in goal. They're nervous. They know they just have to wait this one out. Double commit for Team Eros. And to keep this attack going though, Gus attempts some bumps. Zadakins still in the clear away. Sour keeps it in the mix with Sprat. Should be able to clear this wide. Gus taps it back to the center. Pass back to Remick now. It's slow and weak, but it will still reach his teammate. Can't quite get a proper attack going just yet though.
It feels like Team Eros are starting to feel the pressure of this game, and oh boy, are they ever. Breaking down on defense, breaking down with the touches, and yeah, you can see from the reaction on Gus's cam, he knows he probably should not have had that push out at midfield there, and it might just cost them the series overall. Team Eros, though, do not hang your heads low because of this loss. This was a phenomenal series out of both sides. You guys defied expectations, as putting it rather lightly. Not many people thought you'd be able to get through the series, let alone force a Game 7, and you are proving all of them wrong. Juice Bandits looking like they're going to take this win with only about 40 seconds left and a 3-goal lead. It'd be difficult to give it up. But hey, Hyperia, we've seen some crazy things, so maybe Team Eros can make this happen.
Against the number 2 seed, Juice Bandits, Team Eros coming in as this number 7 seed. It would have been a massive upset, and I think even to get it this far, as you say, has been impressive. Unfortunately, not the result they were looking for, as this game is just in its dying seconds. They managed to find one. No, I'm gonna say no. This game has been way too crazy already. It's no way, right?
All right, well, here's the only way I see this being a possibility. Remember how we've had like 27 kickoff goals throughout this series? Yeah. 2 of them in a row. Team Eros forcing overtime. Actually, Juice Bandit, just let it happen. Just force an overtime here. Come on now. No, not that. Don't do that. Don't try and resist. Let's just get an overtime, and we're not going to. 4 seconds left here, and at this point, Juice Bandits have secured themselves the win. They fought as hard as they could, but they find the victory, and Juice Bandits take their first ever top 4 in RLCS.
They managed to do it. They pulled through after a bit of a shaky series, and going into the rest of the tournament, maybe we find an unknown form of Juice Bandits in that top 4 spot. We haven't seen it just yet, but unfortunately for Team Eros, they're going to have to wait until the winter split. But man, did they show themselves here today.
They showed off phenomenally. This was what we were hoping for out of Juice Bandits. Again, when we say that this team has been getting so close to a top 4, I don't think we can further emphasize it beyond the fact that they have made top 8 2 regionals in a row. They made top 8 before even the season started, and now, Max, we get you back in the booth, and we finally get to see a top 4 from the Juice Bandits.
We also finally get to see a team that comes in as the projected favorite walk away with a victory. It's only taken us 21 games before we get to that point. My goodness, was nobody, dare I say, nobody should have been expecting Team Eros to bring this fight, except for, of course, their dedicated fans, which apparently makes up a majority of the Twitch chat. I have to admit, I started to believe when they got that early goal at the start of game number 7, it looked like maybe we could be having it happen yet again. Another game 7 comeback. However, Juice Bandits, they kind of proved to be a little bit too quick when all the cards hit the table.
Oh, yeah. I feel like Team Eros kind of sat back a bit too far, where if you're allowing Juice Bandits the space, the momentum, they're going to take it and they will rip it through every single time.
Yeah, we talked about that throughout the series, is that aerial space that really did start to open up a little bit here. And while Eros were doing a decent job at closing that down, Juice Bandits are one of those teams, you give them the littlest bit of room, they're going to take all of it and even more. Fantastic play out of both sides, though. I think we can all agree here. This was another incredible series. I don't want to say I don't hope this final series goes to 7, but at this point, 21 games have been played of a possible 28.
Yep.
Oh my
Anything
God.
less would be a disappointment. Anything less would just be a straight up disappointment from this point moving forwards. We need to go 7 for our last series, although going back to this game in particular, I think this was also the first time in like this quarterfinal stage where we finally got to see what Hawk does and what Hawk represents to this Juice Bandits team. You're talking about never give the team space. There's really one player in particular that eyes do seem to gravitate towards, Hyperia, and that was Hawk, who did show off a fair bit during the series.
It's just constantly, as soon as you have a really attacking player such as Hawk, who can pull off the most ridiculous stuff out of a trick bag, that's where all the eyes fall. I think it's important to also highlight Sprat and Zayd and the job they do to try and back him up, because you really need to give the space to Hawk and try and create that. Yet again, going back to where you position yourself as soon as you don't have the ball.
Well, that is enough of stroking Hawk's ego for now, because there is the other player who I wanted to speak to. We're going to bring him in right now. It is, of course, Zayd, who is going to come in and have a chat with us. Now, back during the first regional, we had a chat when you pulled off a pretty big win, and you said something along the lines of not wanting to be satisfied till you get to that top 4. You've made it to the top 4 now. You've gotten to your semifinals. Are you satisfied, or is it next step finals now?
Well, obviously we're satisfied of making top 4, but we're not really satisfied with how we played today. We didn't play very well at all, but we're lucky to have come out with the win.
Interesting. I mean, from the perspective of the casters there, we thought you guys did a pretty good job there. Anything in particular you think you guys are going to need to sort of improve as you go into these semifinals then?
We're really panicking in comms and especially defense, and we just keep throwing the ball away, and it's not very good for us. So we just need to work on that hopefully and come back stronger tomorrow. Yeah.
Is that more of a momentum thing, or is it just kind of something you can talk through, such as you potentially did in the break? What do you really talk through when you go to a timeout?
We pretty much just talked about that stuff, and we basically just had to slow down everything. We were just diving for stuff that was never going to work, and we were just, yeah, we weren't doing anything good with the ball, or even when we were getting boost stuff. So we had to like fight for the boost game, and pretty much whenever we got like the boost advantage, it would seem to work in our favor.
So obviously, from your perspective, there are still things to clean up in terms of your gameplay, especially with the possibility of Ground Zero being your next opponent. I'm assuming that's what you're thinking. And then again, today's been a crazy day. Anything could happen. Either way, though, knowing that you could possibly have the hopes and dreams and aspirations of Riot and their fans on your shoulders, do you have any vote of confidence? Do you think you guys can turn it around if GZ does happen to be your next match?
I mean, obviously anything can happen. I don't want to say we're going to beat them because, you know, it's probably unlikely, but there is probably a little bit of a chance there that we can beat them if we play well enough.
All right, well, we'll see tomorrow. That is assuming, of course, Ground Zero does get that victory. We'll get to that moment, I suppose, when we do get there. One time, Zaid, I'll get you in an interview where you will come through and be like, yes, we played well. We're satisfied with it. We got that result. Probably when you win the regional, though, I'd have to assume.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to wait and see, hey.
Yeah. All right, well, wait. Hey, could happen as soon as tomorrow. Either way, congratulations again on finally getting to that semifinals, and good luck to tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You think you always focus, always looking to improve, and that's why I do feel it's only a matter of time before we do see the Juice Bandits make that deep run. I mean, Bass, it could be tomorrow. They got that first quarterfinal monkey off their shoulders. Sky should theoretically be the limit now, right?
I mean, the thing is that not only is the sky the limit here at this point, but they're in this one just for the fun of it. And we saw how much that propelled for Kidden in that first matchup here. The reality is that for Juice Bandits, yes, they can't make that land, but they do have something really important on the horizon here. Again, every single result you have through this split, through the next one, and the final one, all contribute to your chances at making Worlds, which is a huge thing. You really do want to try and prove that, because we've been talking about this. For Kidden is one of those teams where, yes, they didn't necessarily have a first split that has been as monumentous as they'd like, but they still have a chance to make Worlds if they can have a good winter and spring. So you never really know. This is a big result for Juice Bandits.
Look, I'm just incredibly afraid of the full form of Juice Bandits, because every single time I noticed on the pitch as well, there have been inconsistencies. Their rotation isn't quite on point. So how are they going to look if they play on par with what they could be playing at? I hope we see that tomorrow.
I reckon it would be devastating. That is for sure. And we are getting set up, though, for one more series in this. Before we go, Bass, I believe you owe us each a thank you for keeping your predictions right in this one. You were going to go the wrong way, but we did straighten that course. So you're welcome. Now, we'll go to the breaks while you know, suck up that little bit more and praise to the formal and Hyperia. When we come back, it is going to be our final quarterfinal match. Ground Zero looking to keep their hopes and dreams alive. It's going to be a tough battle for sure. Not going to want to miss it. See you then.